Hey, it's Bushboy, and I wanted to cover my opinion on the construction update. It's certainly a long and awaited update, but is it really what we wanted? I do like the update, but I feel that the hives are somewhat now a focus of the game. But that could be because it's just been updated, like it's only been a week, so obviously there's still a cooldown period on updates, and that's quite normal, I guess. I find that they're pretty easy for victory points. And I think that like both of the metas of the game should be like sort of equal, I guess, but I think that it'll normalize out just as any other update does. I do see that a lot of people kind of focus on the hives over alerts. That can get frustrating when alerts can be like quite the highlight to Planetside. In all the years that I played the game, the alerts are still like the best thing about the game because it brings everyone down to the wire to get some points. The other thing I just want to add that's kind of a negative is that hive warfare is kind of an armor and air combat, and also there's barely any buildings. It's mostly just walls and stuff, and it's kind of like trench warfare. And I do like that, and I also hate that at the same time because it gets really repetitive really quickly. While the bases are at different places and it still gets repetitive, especially like this last week. I'm sort of already over the update as it is, but it's still really interesting. I still like it and stuff, so don't get me wrong. And the construction update has so far brought back a lot of players that left the game and a lot of players that haven't played the game before, and the amount of changeable warfare that's going on is very exciting. I do like that you can have fight in areas where you used to never fight before, but then again, there has to be a balance. I think that the worst thing for me that is probably the deal breaker for the Hive update, the AI. I find that it kind of overpowered, kind of like how the engineer AI turret was like weak as crap because it does like no damage, and while it's accurate, it's still like pretty useless. I feel like these AIs are better than someone sitting in a turret. Like most of the time, you're better off just letting the AI shoot rather than you shoot, and I feel like that's kind of overpowered. Like, why should the AI be better than a player? And I also feel like once you build a big enough base, similar to Fort 404, it just defends itself. Like, we didn't really do much other than repair, and while that base was defending itself, we went and fought in other bases, and that can be really frustrating, especially for the enemy, who's like, it's almost impossible to detect the base, because as soon as you get close with aircraft, you get blown up, and all the tanks were getting blown up by engineer turrets and such. Like, it was almost impossible. And yes, it was impossible because they never took the base down. It just never was destroyed. The other thing I really dislike is that they don't have any like squad control. There's no protection on resources. So if you feed a base with resources, anyone can grief the base, anyone can build whatever they want, which is nice, but it is also bad if people go around deconstructing everything, and that does happen. So that needs to change, I think. Other than all those points that I made, I do like the update, but I feel like it needs work. I'm not a big hater on the update. I don't think that it's killed the game for me. I think a lot of the people who hate on the game at the moment is because it's taking away the farm aspect of the game. And overall, yeah, I like it, but it's not perfect. And I guess all updates are always like that at some point. There were some pretty significant updates over the time, and they all had to get buffed out. And I'm sure that it will be really good in a couple of months. And I would really encourage people to come back to the game because it is a lot better than it was like a month ago. Like the hives have added a lot. It's kind of like a new sword that hasn't been sharpened. I do like it, but it definitely has some flaws. Anyway guys, that was my opinion on the newest update. This is kind of a new thing for me. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this video. Really want to do some videos like this more in the future, and I'll see you in the next video.